8 ways to politely ask for a raise without pissing off your boss. No matter how hard you work, it can be difficult to ask your boss to give you a raise. On one hand, if you don't ask, your hard work won't be rewarded. And on the other, if you do ask, you might anger your boss and risk your current job situation in the process. So what do? The solution is simple. Politely ask for a raise, following these 8 steps. Number 1, do your research. Before you sit down with your boss, it's important to know exactly what you want. It's critical that you do your research on salaries and job titles so that when you ask for a raise, they aren't completely underwhelmed by what they hear. Number 2, know what you're worth. If you feel like you aren't being fairly compensated, it's time to do some research on what other companies and employers are getting paid. Read industry news on salary surveys and compensation reports, and always ask around. Don't be afraid of turning up an uncomfortable reality. In many cases, people who find out they are underpaid will also find out they aren't alone. Number 3, focus on working harder and better, but not longer. Show your boss you're working hard by detailing projects you've completed, challenges you've tackled, and classes that you've taken. But you don't need to work longer hours to prove that you're valuable. Number 4, understand that no is an option. In business, there's not much room for sentimentality. Everyone has bills to pay, and as long as you're doing what you need to do and meeting your employer's expectations, it's okay if you never ask for a raise. It's also okay if your boss says no, provided you understand that no is an option. Only people who ask find out what they can get. Number 5, don't be afraid to negotiate. Taking control of your salary is not only good for your career, it's also beneficial from a financial standpoint. If you're making less than you deserve and you're comfortable at work, ask your manager about getting a raise. Chances are they won't be offended. However, if that doesn't work out, or if there isn't room in your current company's budget, you can always look into other opportunities. Number 6, make it about value rather than money. It isn't hard to think about money when you ask for a raise, but it's also important that you put your boss in a position where they can see your value. If you point out how your contributions have added value or saved time and money, your boss will have an easier time granting your request. Number 7, understand that timing counts. Timing your request can make all the difference in whether or not you'll receive a raise. Many companies and organizations are hesitant to give raises during seasonally busy times. December is usually an off-season month, so that's a good time to ask if they have any flexibility in their budget. Number 8, avoid these mistakes. When asking for a raise, it's important not to go over your boss's head. Asking for more money when you haven't been in your role long or given any extra responsibilities is considered inappropriate by most companies. You don't want your manager to think you aren't happy with what you have now. Before asking, think of ways you can further improve on what they've already seen as valuable contributions in order to get your money.